Hey, Ed Stetzer here. I'm with Shawn Blackmon. He's the pastor of Unity Church of Gadsden, Alabama. And he is, he's a user of sermon shots and really multiplying his impact. So, Shawn, talk us a little bit how you are using at Unity Church and in your ministry. How are you using sermon shots to get the word out?
So for us, because we're a church plant, we have to utilize and leverage all aspects of technology that are within our reach, and as a church plant, that are within our finances. So sermon shots is the most economical way for me to get our Sunday message out. Now, Unity Church, we are diverse by intentionality, understanding that heaven is not going to look like a white heaven or a black heaven or whatever. Heaven is heaven, and everybody is just there. And so we understand that there are people who can't physically go to church for certain reasons. And if we didn't learn anything from COVID, we had to learn that we have to reach everybody, because everybody needs to hear the gospel. That's part of why God sent us out with the Great Commission. And so I use sermon shots to not only reach those people. One of the people who was a part of my team, she's my online engagement person. Her daughter is autistic. She's an adult, but she's autistic. Loud noises, lights, all of that bother her. I'm able to give her the message and bullet points through sermon shots. And so we're noticing that we're able to reach so many people outside of our normal sphere, outside of our normal demographic, by utilizing sermon shots and creating those reels.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by I have a family member on the spectrum. So when you say you use sermon shots to send the points, but are you sending the text, like the transcription of this, or are you how are you doing that?
So we're able to do it all. I mean, I actually have an online pastor. And so we not only send clips and reels, we not only send the transcription, we not only can actually take the audio of it, basically a podcast, and send the full message out so that they can take it in the capacity for them to take it. But we're also able to pull out like the summaries, pull out the 5-day devotional, and then my online pastor, who he gets the information from me on Sunday when he hears the message, and so he hears my heart, and then he's able to utilize these other study guides that are created along with what God is telling him. And then on Wednesday, we do a deeper dive into that message, which is a calmer atmosphere. So you don't have people just singing and that would mess with somebody on the spectrum, and they're able to take this in around lunchtime on Thursdays from 12 to 12:30. And it's working for us. I mean, I had a friend from high school, and she called me the other day and was just like, "I'm so proud of you, so happy with what you guys are doing, and I love looking at your little shorts and your reels and all of that. I've got a donation for the church." She's 2 hours away from me, so it has helped us to reach so many more people by utilizing the tools that sermon shots offers.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've been doing these interviews and learning things like this, and you're the first person who mentioned engaging persons with special needs or persons on spectrum. But that makes sense because, again, in ways that people can receive it, and really multiplying the ways they can receive it. I was watching my daughter the other day. She's a smart kid. She's at Biola University at the Honors College. So I'm proud of her. I try to tell everybody she's a smart kid. But she was reading a book while listening to the audio of the same book. And she said, "Yeah, it just helps me to do both at the same time. Got my eyes active, my ears active." And so I think people will find, even what you talk about there, persons with special needs, this could be a whole new way to multiply impact that's there as well. So when you are thinking in terms of like creating reels and things of that sort, you said you had an online pastor. Now you're a church under 100, you got an online pastor. I'm guessing that online pastor is a volunteer. Is that true? Or part-time?
Everybody, including myself, is basically a volunteer.
Okay.
So I'm blessed, and I know a lot of church planners don't, I went against the norm, but I actually have 6 associate pastors.
All right.
Who come from all diverse backgrounds. My online pastor is there to teach, like basically do that deep dive on Wednesdays, breaking down the message and for people, and just create that extra engagement. And so when I'm using sermon shots in my reels, and I'm still growing, I'm learning that I need to be posting more than I am, but I'm doing anywhere from 3 to 5 reels in a week and getting those out. And then sometimes I'll take what he does and create a couple of reels from his as well.
If everyone on your team is volunteer, you got other things you're doing too, and time becomes a key issue. Has sermon shots impacted your stewardship of time, or is it still about taking about the same time you did before? Or tell me about that.
There was no before.
Okay, there was no before.
It was too difficult for me with my limited knowledge of how to create it. The hardest thing for me would be waiting on YouTube to upload the video so that I can put it into sermon shots. That's it. Once I'm in there, I can have my stuff. I can have my reels created, my thumbnail set up. I can download all of the documents I need to download, and I can schedule everything to post throughout the week, and I'm done within 30 to 45 minutes. So for me, it's a godsend. It really is, and it saves my time because I'm not having to take 5-6 hours editing and working. I don't like this. Let me chop this out. Okay, I'll use this as an analogy. We just did Christmas at the movies, and I let my team pick the movies that we did, and I kicked it off. And so they picked for me to do Medea's Christmas. Well, as you know, there's a lot of cursing in that movie. So I had to do a lot of editing, which took forever, so that I could take out all of these words just so I could do the movie. But when I did my reels with sermon shots off of that, it was like that. And when I needed to cut things out of what I was saying, it's just a minus button and you keep going. So it's just a beautiful, it's a seamless transition. I don't have the words to really just express how much it has helped me out in this journey. Yeah,
that's fascinating.
I've only used it. I think I've only been a part of sermon shots going on a year, maybe next month.
Well, I mean, the whole idea of these things, I mean, have really just taken off in the last few months and years. I'm trying to help them get the word out because I believe in what they're doing. I'm a relatively new user too, but I'm kind of fascinated by everything that it does. All right, so then if you sound excited about it, why don't you just talk to the pastors, look to the camera, tell the pastors, this is why I'm excited about it, and this is why you should be excited about it too.
So guys, I'm excited about sermon shots because of the continuous growth that they offer. They're not stopping at one thing. It's continuously growing and evolving, and they're adding more tools to our tool bag for us to be better pastors, better stewards of our time. I love time and time with my family. And so when I use sermon shots, for me to be able to take a message and have everything broken down, have all my reels created, everything done within an hour or less, it just saves time for me to spend with my wife and with my children. I have a new grandson. I mean, all of that makes the most. And now I'm even able to invest more time in my church and in my ministry by me studying. I'm co-vocational, so I have a full-time job where I'm a marketing director for a behavioral health company. I'm not taking time away from anybody because I'm able to do this so quickly and easily and still keep moving and processing. And I'll be honest, I've even done some public speaking, guys, that were not. It was just public speaking, whether it's to a football team or whether it's to a business or a school or some kids. And I took that and put it into sermon shots and was able to create some reels just off of that. So even if you do public speaking, the tool is there for you, and the opportunities for you to use it are endless. So I recommend sermon shots for everybody. Everybody should use it.